Am I live? Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Justine. I'm the Mermaid Seamstress, and today I'm going to be answering some questions that I commonly get asked, and I will also, in this video, be announcing my 100 subscriber giveaway winner. So, yeah, anything you want to ask me, feel free to leave in the chat box. I will get to them as they come up. I am also going to read some questions that I get both in person and in my other videos. So yeah, let's get started with that. First things first, I have a question from one of my friends on Instagram who asks, where is it? There we go. From Gray Keval, who asks, how long does it take you to complete one of your tails from start to finish? That's a great question. Usually it takes me anywhere from an hour to 3 hours. And those are usually my like fairly simple tails. So the tail that you guys saw me make in my beginner tail tutorial, that took me about an hour and a half. So yeah. Another question that I get quite often is, what is my favorite sea animal? My favorite sea animal is actually a Thai. I really like sea turtles a lot. But probably one of my favorites is actually, oh no, where'd he go? Is actually a cow-nosed ray, and I have this little guy that I got as a gift. And they're just so cute. They're a type of stingray, and they're just really friendly, and they like to come up to people. They're really curious, and they're really cute, and they're really cool. Something else. Oh, here's a good one. This one actually is from a couple people, and it is, how do you hold your breath so long underwater? Well, I hold my breath so well underwater because, one, I'm a free diver. I did free diving training, so I know properly how to hold my breath underwater, and how to do it safely. And I also, in a lot of my swim footage, I actually slow down my videos a bit to enhance kind of the grace and the drama of the swim videos. So I'm actually not holding my breath for as long as you think I am. Another frequently asked question is, what does that say? Oh, how do you get comfortable with bubbles up your nose? So in a couple of my videos, and especially my most recent GoPro Hero 6 video, I do a lot of underwater flips, and a lot of turning upside down underwater, or I go and I do bubble rings underwater, and it looks like I'm just turning upside down and I don't have to let air out of my nose. And one reason why I'm so comfortable with that is I am actually wearing a nose plug. I'm wearing a nose plug called a sinus saver, which actually goes in your nose and is clear. So it's really, really hard to see in my underwater footage. But another way that I do that when I am not wearing my nose plug or a nose clip, is that I kind of make like I put my tongue against the roof of my mouth, kind of like if you're going to make a K sound, like k, k, you press the back of your tongue up against your soft palate and hold that. And that'll close the passage between your nasal cavity and your lungs, and it'll create pressure to keep the water out of your nose. So that's pretty cool. Another question that I got asked recently was, what is your favorite monofin? My favorite monofin is definitely the Mahina. I like the power of it. I like just the way it moves in the water. It's great. And I will be making a actual tail for my Mahina pretty soon. So I'm very, very excited about that. Hi, Ethan. Hi, Cat Farts. So good to see you. Glad you're watching my video. Okay, so again, for anybody who just tuned in, if you have any questions, leave them in the chat box and I will get to them as I get to them. So that's really exciting. Another question I get asked commonly is, what is your favorite tail? You know, I have two favorite tails, one of which you guys haven't seen yet, which is actually a hand-painted tail that I made out of, based on tutorials by Courtney Mermaid. And I actually made that last summer, but I haven't gotten a chance to swim in it yet. And I'm right now modifying it for my Mahina. And my second favorite tail is my mythic tail, because it's just, oh my gosh, it's so wonderful to swim in and it looks absolutely amazing. Okay, Cat Farts 2006 asks, does chlorine from the pool damage your hair? Yes, I have horribly damaged hair. And my hair is short, so I don't have a lot of space to cut it off. But yeah, I have, it's very, very dry, especially in the back. You can see I've got, it's frizzy. I've got some split ends. I'm hoping to kind of figure it out over the summer. I do use a chlorine remover conditioner and shampoo, which does help a lot, but I swim literally every day. So it's really hard to keep up with that. I've also heard of apple cider vinegar rinses, and I used to soak my hair in coconut oil before I swam to protect it a little bit. I'm not quite sure yet what works, but I will have a video up on that when I figure it out. Ethan LPS says, do you make your own accessories? Some of them, yes. I currently don't have a lot of accessories, to be honest. Most of the tops I wear are purchased swimsuits, but I do have, in my photo shoot that I did with my friend Kira Lopik, those accessories are all handmade. I based the crown off of something that I pre-bought, but I did enhance it myself, yeah. And I will be making more videos of that in the future. Thanks for asking. Does chlorine damage any of the monofins or tails? The monofins, not so much. I tend to be really careful about rinsing my monofins and my tails out like immediately after I swim. And I do occasionally soak some of my tails. I neutralize it with a little bit of baking soda, but the monofins don't really get damaged from chlorine. The tails definitely get damaged from chlorine. And I wish I had an example with me, but I have one of my, actually the tail that's in my channel art, that two-tone tail, that is really damaged by chlorine. And it has to do with how the chlorine affects the foil finish. And so it kind of dissolved the foil finish on those. Chaki Nomani, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but thank you. Welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. I'm going to wait until probably 12:15, I think, to make the announcement. So 4 more minutes. on my channel winners. But if you guys have any more questions for me, I'd be happy to hear them. Yeah, so let's look at that. Another question that I get asked quite frequently is, how do you get comfortable? Hi, Savannah. Nice to see you here. We're just going over some questions. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat box and I'll get to them. This next question is, how do you open your eyes underwater? I'm actually intending to make a video of that. It's kind of tricky to answer like specifically how I open my eyes underwater. I just kind of open my eyes, but it does take a really long time to get used to. And I use Genteel eye drops or Genteel eye gel to help protect my eyes, but I actually don't. I don't open my eyes underwater as much as you guys would think. I only really open my eyes underwater when I'm making a video where I want to look like natural, for lack of a better way of saying it. But most of the time when I'm training, I do have goggles on. So, Cat Farts 2006 asks, do I have any pets? Yes, I have pets. I have 2 rats who are my absolute darlings, and I have a German Shepherd. And I love them very much. My 2 rats are called Rue and Ghost, and hopefully if I do another live stream, I'll have them out. Yeah. And hold on a second, guys. Okay. Where was I? Yeah, I have rats and a dog, and they're my favorite. But I am actually professionally a animal trainer and a zoologist. So I I work with animals all day long. I love animals. Oh, cat farts. Yeah, rats are super cute. I love them very much. Ethan LPS says, did you take swim classes? Yes, I've been swimming since I was like a baby. So I was in swim classes when I was younger. And then when I turned 5, I joined the swim team. And I was in swim team through high school. And then in high school, I had to switch swim teams. Planet Sim says, last time I checked, whales are being born and able to swim. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, they are. Whales are definitely born being able to swim, and I think that's really awesome. Obviously, it's necessity because they're born in the water. So yeah. Can you train my cat to do a backflip? I probably could. It would take a long time, but you know. Yeah, it's interesting, the training aspect. And if you guys want me to get more into that, that'd be really cool. That would be super cool. Is Finfolk tail worth it because I'm looking to buy one? Yeah, you know what? I love my Finfolk mythic tail, to be honest. I'd say that if you are going to save up to the point where you want to get a fabric tail, obviously if you're a strong swimmer, it's definitely worth it, because they're absolutely gorgeous, and they're much, much easier to swim in, I think, than the Finfolk fabric tails. So if you're gonna make a point and start saving money, I'd say go all the way and get a mythic tail. They're absolutely wonderful, and you can check out my mythic tail review on my channel. That is really, really cool. And yeah, so go check out my mythic tail review after this live stream. I feel like I missed a question back here, and no, I can't find it. Savannah, have you taught your rats tricks? I have. They're not super food motivated, but they do know tricks, and I can. They know how to touch. They know how to. Ghost knows how. One of my rats, Ghost, knows how to slide down a pole like a fireman. It's pretty cute. It's amazing how smart. Yeah, definitely. Rats are really smart, and I love them. And it's really easy to teach them tricks. Ethan says, I have baby ducks. Is it normal for them to want to sleep with you? Well, if they have imprinted to you, then yeah, I guess it is normal. I don't know. I've never had ducks, but I do know that that ducks really imprint on the first person who they see. And so if they have imprinted on you, then they're going to want to follow you everywhere. Yeah. Chaiki Namani says, oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, for sure. Go check that out. It's going to be really good for you, I think. Cat farts. I've taught my cat to sit. That's so cool. That's so cool. Okay, so I think that we've waited. Ethan, yeah, I think you are a duck mama. That's too funny. So I think right now I'm going to announce the winner of the 100 subscriber giveaway. Again, first prize will win a postcard with a handwritten note from me and some stickers, which is really fun. And I ended up with enough stickers where I think I'm going to draw a second prize winner as well, and they will receive some more stickers from me. So that's really exciting. So I have put all of your entries in this little bowl, and let's do this thing. So first thing I'm going to be drawing is first prize. So I expect you all to do your own drum roll, please. And the winner of the first prize is going to be the Mermaid Harpist. Congratulations. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. So there is our first prize winner, and you will be notified on Instagram. I think this is your Instagram handle. But yes, you will be notified on Instagram, and congratulations. And our second prize winner is Mermaid Shakina. That's awesome. Congratulations, guys. And you're going to win a sticker pack. All right. Thank you guys so much for entering. I really appreciate it. And you guys, it makes me so happy to hear that all of you support my channel and are watching my videos. I'm just really excited to be growing a little fishy family of my own, and I appreciate you guys so much, each and every one of you, and I hope that in the future I will, have more prizes for you. So yeah, I really appreciate all of you. Even if you didn't win, I really seriously appreciate you guys do so much for me. Thanks for that. Thanks for the drum roll, Ethan. Cat farts, do you have a new mermaid name? I really don't. So, I have the persona of the mermaid seamstress. I was thinking if I were to have a mermaid name, I'd choose Lenia. Lenia is a mermaid from one of my favorite books. And it's amazing. Actually, there's a book called The Mermaid, a twist on the classic tale. And it's basically, it takes the Hans Christian Andersen story of the Little Mermaid, and it tells it from the perspective of both the mermaid and the princess who rescues the prince on shore. And so kind of the tensions between that. So I definitely recommend it. Thanks, Ethan. Cat farts, you should make mermaid tails for your dogs and rats. I could, for sure. I don't know how much they'd appreciate it, but I could try. That'd be pretty funny, I think. That'd be pretty entertaining. So maybe I'll do that some other day. By the way, how are you guys liking this style? Like a live stream. Do you think I should have live streams more often? I don't know how often I could do them, but do you think that you guys would be interested in having a live stream on a regular basis? Like maybe like once a month? Yeah? Okay. Cool. Yeah, no, I'd be totally down to doing that. I like interacting with you guys. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Any other questions? I think I'm in the middle of finals right now. So I think I can only be on for another 10 minutes. So if you guys have any questions that you'd like me to answer before I sign off, I would love to hear from you. And let me know in the chat section. But other than that, so some updates, I guess, while I'm talking to you guys, some updates for the summer. So once I finish school, I will still be, I go on to working. I will be working full time, so I don't know how busy my schedule is going to get. And I also don't know what pools are open in my area because I am moving to a new area this summer. And I don't know what pools are going to be open. So I'm going to have to look into that and see what swimming videos I can get. But I do know that I'm going to have a lot of tail tutorials coming up. I'm thinking about doing how to add fins and how to do a dorsal fin. I'm also going to be doing at least two new types of tails, a single seam tail as well as a two-tone tail with a different color in the body and in the fluke. So I'm really excited for those. Let me know if you have any questions about things you want to see in those tails. You can either find me on Instagram, Instagram.com/themermaidseamstress, and post it on, I think I have a couple of posts where I ask you to leave me comments. So definitely do that. Oh, I'm getting behind in the chat already. Cat farts thinking of a question. Okay. Chaiki Namani. Am I pronouncing that right, by the way? Chaiki Namani? Sorry if I'm not. I don't mean to offend. You're done with finals. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I wish I was done with finals. I finish on Wednesday. Cat farts. On average, how warm is it where you live? Well, that depends on the season. My winters get really, really cold. I am in Minnesota. Winters get really, really cold, but summers it's, between 80 and 100 degrees. Usually that's Fahrenheit. I can't remember how much that is in Celsius. 30 degrees, is it? Maybe? Yeah. So it's definitely warm enough to swim during the summer. outside. So maybe there's a possibility I might get a chance to go with some friends up to a lake, and I can swim there. But yeah, so we have pretty harsh weather. Winter here got, I think the low this winter was in, oh, cat farts, thank you. Yeah, 40 degrees Celsius is about 100 degrees. So yeah, between, I'd say 30 and 40 degrees Celsius probably. Winters, it gets to be below, like 20 below zero. I think with some of the coldest weather we had for a sustained period of time. And that was really cold. But yeah, during the summers, it's warm. Right now is actually great because it's in the 50s and I don't have air conditioning in my room, so I can keep my window open, and it's pretty cool. Yeah. So that's very exciting. Shark Wolf Jasper, hi, nice to have you. Unfortunately, we are, oh yeah. Savannah says summer is usually around 30, 38 degrees in BC. Oh yeah, right on. Yeah, I think we should have pretty similar weather, because you guys have the coast effect. So you'll also be pretty humid. Cat farts, you're in Canada too. That's awesome. I feel like a lot of you guys came over from either Nerd Made Faith or Courtney Mermaid's channel. So I really appreciate that. You guys, they're pretty cool. If you haven't already checked them out, Courtney the Vancouver Mermaid, I think her channel is Courtney Mermaid. But you should definitely go check her out. She is also another mermaid who does some really awesome fabric tales, and Nerd Made Faith does some really great tutorials, or not tutorials, excuse me, some reviews on a lot of fabric tales and monofins. Both of them are really great resources, and you should definitely go and check them out. Cat Farts, you should do a collaboration with Faith. I've been talking with Faith. We'll see. We'll see if there's a possibility that we can do a collaboration. Savannah W, I found you through Tail Talk Tuesday when you mentioned the rats, lol. Yeah. Oh, thanks. That's great. Yeah, no, exactly. I'm definitely present on those. I do have some people who I'm in conversations about collabs right now, which I'm really excited about. But those are still a super secret special surprise. So I will let you guys know at, closer to those collabs when those are happening, but sometime over the summer. All right. So any other questions for me about mermaid tales, about my experience as a mermaid, whatever you want. What is your opinion on buying mermaid things off of eBay or Amazon? Is that Alarnia Martin? Sorry if I mispronounce your name, but Alarnia, yeah, it really depends on the product. So if it is something like a, hat, or a hat, what am I talking about? Like a headpiece, or there are some really great creators who sell on Amazon and eBay. Amazon actually has a lot of monofins for sale. So for example, you can get a Mahina monofin on Amazon. You can get a lot of the Finis monofins on Amazon, the Rapid, the Aquarius, etc. And those are great. You can also buy fin fun tails on Amazon. So I think that's fine. eBay is a little bit more questionable just because you're not necessarily getting a name brand product. I'd say that across the board on Amazon or eBay, if you're not getting something from a specific creator or you're not getting a name brand product, I wouldn't trust it, because I know that there's on eBay especially, there's a lot of bootleg products who will steal images. One of the common ones I know of steals like images from Finfolk and gets them printed. And one, they look terrible, and two, they're really, really dangerous because they don't have a proper monofin in them. So they're just really not good things to buy. Cat farts, you don't trust Amazon. Well, Amazon, if you're buying something with a brand on it on Amazon, so like if you're buying a Finis Rapid, you're going to get a Finis Rapid, and it's going to be the same quality as if you get it from the Finis website or Finis. So I'd say that, you know, trust the brand, don't trust the seller, if that makes sense. It's kind of a complicated question, but Shark Wolf Jasper says, what is your most crazy mermaid experience / story? You know, I don't have very many super crazy experiences as a mermaid. I think my craziest experience would probably be, I mean, I've swam with sharks quite a few times, and that's always kind of a crazy experience because you're kind of swimming, and this would be in the Bahamas, when I'm in the Bahamas, and actually I was in my mythic tail when I was shooting for you guys, shooting videos for you guys. I was swimming around afterwards, and this nurse shark came by, and I just saw, like, out of the corner of my eye, I couldn't see very well because I was underwater without goggles, and I saw this shape, and I freaked out, and I like took my tail off and I ran out of the water, but it just turned out to be a nurse shark. So that was probably one of my most crazy experiences as a mermaid. What got you into mermaiding? You know, I have always been a swimmer. And so I've always been, you know, I always played mermaids in the pool. But what actually got me into making tails and actually swimming with a monofin was seeing videos of Hannah Fraser. Because when I started mermaiding, it was about 8 or 9 years ago, and there weren't a lot of the mermaids that you see out there today. Like, obviously, you know, people had started mermaiding, but YouTube, there weren't a lot of people on YouTube who were making mermaid tails. So yeah, I started mermaiding because of Hannah Fraser. I saw one of her tails and was like, oh, I want to do that. So I made my own tail, and I was really excited about it. Have you ever had kids come running at you and yelling, look, mommy, a mermaid? I haven't had them running at me. Most of the kids I've met are actually very, very shy. The ones who are more excited are usually the mothers or the grandmothers, and they're like, oh, look, it's a mermaid. And the kids are sitting there like, I don't know what to think about that. But I did have a couple of experiences where kids are like standing there and staring at me, and I'll be like, hey, do you want to come over and see the tail? Like, you want to come over and feel the tail? So, yeah, those are always really sweet, and they're always, I love watching the kids' faces light up when they see, when they get to like feel the tail, especially if it's my mythic tail, which, you know, has silicone fins and a fluke. So it actually feels quite real to them, and it's really exciting for them. Cat farts, what's the most realistic tail you have? Well, I think that the most realistic tail that I have, you know, and realistic in terms of what looks most like a fish, I think is probably my mythic tail, just because it has the texture. And it's so shiny. That's one thing that I absolutely love about the mythic tail, is how shiny it is and how iridescent. But the most realistic fabric tail that I've ever made is my painted tail, which you guys haven't seen yet. And I'm actually hoping to do a remake of, not a remake. I'm going to make another fabric tail this summer and paint it, and hopefully that will be my most realistic tail yet. So we'll see. we'll see. Another realistic tail that I've made, actually I don't swim in ever, but is I made for a friend of mine, and it's realistic only because it has boning in the fluke, and so it it looks like the rays in a fishtail, which is really, really cool, and I like that a lot. Catfart says, which tail do you dislike the most? Of my tails, or so of my tails, I don't really dislike any of my tails very much. The tails that I've made, probably because I make them, but of the tails that I have, I really don't like a lot of the tails that I bought for myself, to be honest. Out of all the tails, I think my least favorite is actually my friend's tail. Was a Finfolk fabric tail, one of the first generations before they made all of the fixes. I didn't like swimming in that one because it looked really flat. The texture looked really flat, the printing. Even though it was very detailed printing, it still looked very two-dimensional. And it was also really heavy to swim in. I don't know. It was a really weird tail to swim in. It had a lot of drag. I think that's the only tail that I've been in where I felt like I was almost going to drown. But that was their old release. So they've fixed a lot of the issues in their second release. And I think some of the designs on their second release of tails that they just came out with are really, really cool. What do you prefer, painted tails or printed tails? Printed tails are easier. And generally, because I don't print the designs, I get fabric that has been printed. The printed fabric generally looks a little bit more professional looking. But I've never gotten a printed tail that was anything other than spandex. So I do have a couple of Finfolk tails, and I have a Mertailor Eco tail. But I have a couple of tails that I've made with printed fabric, and I generally kind of like that better. But I do like the customization that comes with the painted tails. It's just I don't feel like I have the talent necessarily to do the best paint job on a tail. So, cat farts. Oh, you should get a galaxy tail. You would look cool in one. Oh, thanks. I really appreciate that. Maybe one of my next tails in the future will be kind of a galaxy themed tail, and I can do that. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I think that the purple and blue would be a good color palette for me. Actually, if you guys want a sneak peek, I can try and find, I did a sketch the other day. There it is. I did a sketch the other day for one of the new tails, and it's going to be, oh, you can't see that very well, but it's going to be a coral and blue tail, which I'm really excited about. This is just a really rough sketch that I did with some watercolors, but that's my goal. That's one of the tails. Aiden 8, hi, how are you? Good to see you. Aw, thanks, cat farts. That's so nice. Yeah. So that's about all the updates I have. Congratulations to the winners. Thanks. Oh, it was so cool to meet you. And I hope that you get to see the rest of this sometime. Savannah, my one and only tail has stretched a lot. Oh, no. Even though I've been very gentle with it and followed all the tips to prevent it, it was a malady. Yeah. That's kind of just one of those things with fabric tails, is it is really hard to keep it from stretching, unfortunately. And that, I mean, that's one of the reasons why you get a tail, is those tails are kind of made for kids who, may, or they're more directed at kids. I shouldn't say they're made for kids, but they're not meant to last forever, which is unfortunate. Aiden says, I have a blue tail and a fin. That's awesome. did you make it yourself? Is it from a maker? Like, I'd love to hear what it is. That would be really cool. Cat Farts, I'm hoping to get a Mahina this summer. Yes, the Mahina is good. As I said earlier in this video, Mahinas are my absolute favorite monofin. Aiden says, how old are you? I am 22. So, or almost 22. I'm actually 21, but my birthday is down the line. So, yeah, I'm old. I'm older than you think I am, probably. Or at least a lot of people are surprised at how old I am. Yeah, so. Yeah, I look a lot younger than 22. So, Shark Wolf Jasper, I'm waiting for my Swimtails Orca tail, and I want to. What? I'm waiting for my Swimtails Orca tail, and I want to get one of their pros this summer. Yeah, you know, the Swimtails. I've heard a lot of good things about Swimtails. Unfortunately, I can't afford one right now, but I've been really looking into. I think they are also the ones who have the beta tails, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they have the beta tails out, and those are really, really. I am really, really loving those, but I'm a little bit worried about. They also, you know, similar to the Finfolk fabric tails, they also have the vinyl, and I'm worried that they'd be a little bit too heavy for me. But they're really beautiful looking, and I think. Aiden, you thought I was 15. No, I'm old. I'm old. I'm in my 20s. Savannah W. I want to get a Mahina as an upgrade to my fin fun. As your fin fun monofin? Yeah. The Mahinas are really awesome. As I said before, they're it's just that it's so expensive a purchase. Yeah, so I think one thing you have to think about is your Mahina is going to last forever. It's a super durable tail, and you'll be able to make tails for it. Like, it's not like the fin fun where it's going to stretch out over time and you're not going to be able to use it. So, but I would wait if you're young. I would wait until your foot size stops growing to get a Mahina, and that way you don't have to get a new Mahina later on in the future. So maybe, you know, if you're saving up for your rats, you know, obviously you should make your rats a priority. So wait until your foot size has settled in order to get a Mahina, and put separate savings towards that. That's my advice, Savannah. So, but feel free if you want to, you know, yeah, just that's a choice that's made up to you. But those are my tips. Aiden, I have 2 tails, including fins. Are they a specific brand, or like Swimtails? Is that what you're talking about? Cat Fart says, is it easy to take care of rats? Yes and no. It depends on your rats, really. And I'd say they're just about the same level as a cat. You know, obviously you have to feed them. You have to clean their cage. You have to, you know, play with them every day. But the difference with rats is that, you know, you also have to be careful a little bit about, you know, health issues, and making sure that they're not being exposed to any dangerous chemicals through the air. They have really sensitive respiratory systems. I feed my rats Oxbow Regal Rat. That's one of the highest recommended brands out there available. But I take in kind of problem rats, so I also have to deal with the behavioral aspect. I have some dominance issues between my ratties right now. Going back to mermaid comments, Savannah, an auto-corrected monofin to Mahina. Yeah, no problem. I just got confused there for a second. Aiden, Oh, it's a fin fun. Oh yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. I don't mind fin fun tails. I think they look great. It's not my favorite monofin just because I'm used to the Mahina and other kind of slightly stronger monofins than the fin fun monofins. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Oh yeah. So probably a fin fun's going to be a better choice for you, Aiden, because your foot size is still growing. So that's good. Yeah. So if anybody has any other questions, feel free to let me know. I think I'm going to start wrapping this up in the next 10 or so minutes and move on a little bit. But I wanted to thank everybody who has been watching so far. I really, really appreciate all of your comments and your support. You're out of questions, then that's totally fine. I'm good with that, and I'm happy that, you know, if you needed questions, if you answered questions, that I've answered all of your questions. So thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Cat farts, do I have a seashell top? No, I am in the process of trying to make one, but I'm not having very much success. I prefer a little bit more modest tops, so I'm trying to balance that. But hopefully, if I do, Aiden, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate that. Do I have a seashell top? So yeah. So what I was getting to on that was that, yes, I am making a seashell top right now. I don't know if I'll have a tutorial up for it. It depends on how much of a success it is. So, yeah. Anyway, I think I'm going to sign off now, you guys. Thank you so much for watching.